Hi guys. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a different video for you guys today. In the spirit of the new year and goal planning and all those good things, I thought I would bring you in, get a little personal, and share my goals for 2022. Not just financial, but all of them. In hopes that sharing some of this may give you some ideas if you have a goal planner on how to use it. If you have a Makselife, which is what this is right here, how to use that. And Lord knows you do not have to have an actual goal planner to make goals. Let me be very clear. You don't need that at all. But I needed that. I am someone who needs to write things down, and I need to write them down often. So that's kind of what this does for me. So I did have some people, when they saw my Instagram video, if you're not following me already, if you would go check that out, that would be great. I don't have much on there. I have a personal Instagram, but this was the first time I made one for the channel, so starting to build it up. But anyway, I had a few people ask me why I chose the Makselife, so I just thought I'd run through that real quick. So the big thing for me, well, there's a few things. Let me go over this. You may have already seen like 500 reviews of this. For those who haven't, the big thing for me was the life compass and the assessment that goes along with that. So basically what you do in a bunch of different areas, we've got personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial and physical environment. Let me bring you back out a tad. So what you do is you go through, you mark each one, you take the average, and you get a score for each area of life. And then you go ahead and you put it in this life compass. And this was really nice for me because I am definitely a visual person, a visual learner. And so this was incredibly helpful to see it in this way. It's one thing to see a number, but it's another when you kind of see it like this. So I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize until they do this is certain areas that maybe you think you are lacking in, slacking in, whatever, you may be doing better than you think. And then other areas, you may not. So just to give you an idea here, and if you do have this and you're kind of struggling, this is another just to help kind of thing. So what I did is I took the scores from those other pages and I put them in here with the dotted lines. And then what you're supposed to do is indicate where you want to be. So some areas were not surprising. Work and learning, it's pretty bottom of the barrel. Not shocked by that. Fun and recreation, high. We've been through a pretty big worldwide incident for the last couple of years, so also not surprising. Health and wellness, not surprising, but, well, maybe a little bit. So it's just kind of a nice way to break it down and kind of help you think of goals in those different areas. Now, that's not to say you have to do or have goals in those areas that maybe are lower than others. You don't. You can do whatever you want. It's your life. So the next section is to set your intentions. Let me bring you back out. Sorry about all the in and out here. Set your intentions, what you could use more of, less of, characteristics you want to nurture, habits you want to develop. For me, the habits I want to develop are a work-life balance. I have a lot of trouble with my job. high pressure sales job in the insurance industry. And it is stressful beyond belief. I manage my own book of business, and so that can be stressful. That's an understatement. But the next habit is cleaning routine, like an actual realistic cleaning routine. And then fitness and nutrition, and we'll get into that later. And then you also get to pick a word of the year. So I did courage. And I also made something I'm going to show you because I'm so excited about it. Okay, let me bring this out again. Oh boy. Okay, so this kind of ties into one of my goals as well, to get back to crafting. But how fun is this? And it's actually, let me bring it up. It's actually layers of paper, if I can angle it just right. I don't know how it'll translate in video, but it's a bunch of layers in paper, and I love this. I love it so much. Okay, so, and the reason courage is my word of the year is because it's going to kind of filter into all the different life zones and things that I want to accomplish. So, because I need to, just get over myself and figure my life out. So, excuse me. All right, the next section talks about types of goals. I'm not going to go over all of this, but I do want to let you know that Makselife has on their website free printables. Free. So, things like the compass, the assessment, there's a few other things, the intentions, this page, which, let me bring it back down. This page kind of has, it says things to consider in each area of life when writing goals. So just as an example for family and relationships, appreciation, healing, trust, intimacy, forgiveness, vulnerability, just almost like prompts to help you think of some goals, because it can be overwhelming. It's you're just staring at empty pages and all that. So, okay, let's get into it. Now, there's a ton of different ways you can set this up. This is just how I did it. I actually saw Tattooed Teacher Plans here on YouTube. She did hers in a similar manner. I think our brains work similarly. I do much better with this kind of visual stimulus than just a normal list. So, okay, personal. My focus is happiness. I think we've all had a rough last few years here, right? But even before then, if I'm going to be honest, whether it be just getting older or, having kids or just all the things, I feel like I kind of lost myself a bit, And I think we all go through this to some degree at one point or another. So, trying to get back. So, the main section is going to be self-care, and that's going to branch off into routines, such as journaling, that cleaning routine, because having it not straightened up stresses me the hell out, self-worth, one time a week, do something that makes you feel good. So, that could be anything. For me, it's, actually taking the time to do my nails, because that is something I used to love to do. That's something I was going to go to school for. Just all the things. And then I put here regular haircuts. I tend to make sure, I'm one of those people that makes sure everyone else is okay and then forgets about themselves. And it has gotten to the point where I now look like Rapunzel, and not in a good way. So, she looks real cute and tangled and all, but in real life, this is a mess. So, fun and recreation. I focused on fun, but that's going to branch off into social. Make more time for friends, one coffee date per month. That's kind of my goal. Obviously, as health allows with everything, right? But at least even just doing, like a Zoom or something, just something. And then new experiences. Find local experiences and classes to do alone or with others. Activities, 3 new recipes per month. You might see some goals kind of overlap, but that's honestly how goals tend to work, right? I mean, it doesn't only ever affect one area of life. 3 new recipes per month. I love cooking. I love baking. And games for us to play. And a new show series. I mean, I know this isn't like night out on the town stuff here, but man, sometimes all you need is a good show. Okay, and then work and learning. My main focus is fulfillment. That is something that is lacking greatly in what I do currently. So I branched this off. I love doing YouTube, guys. Like, this brings me even more joy than I thought it would. This community brings me so much joy. I look forward to seeing you all in the comments. Even though half the time it won't let me comment back. That's another story altogether. But it brings me fulfillment. I actually feel like I'm helping, and that's something I need. So I want to treat this like a career. Am I monetized? No. No, I'm not. But I want to treat this not just as a hobby, but as a career, and delegate enough time to it, and care. So another part of that is starting my Etsy shop. Guys, I have given every reason why I can't, and really it comes down to needing courage. It's ridiculous. People that know me in real life would be shocked that courage is my word of the year. Because although I can be really courageous in some areas when it comes to myself, that's where the problem lies. And I'm sure a lot of you can probably relate to that, right? It's always scarier when you're making the moves, So YouTube, branching out a little bit into the planning realm in addition to budgeting. So that's kind of where this falls in. And then skills. I want to learn 1 new skill per month. I don't care what it is. It could be how to make cabinets. Do I need to make cabinets? Not really, but I love learning, guys, even if I never use the information. But I'd like to use 1 new skill, and maybe that skill applies to these things or, whatever. Community. I want to establish a solid community network and join in on activities. So I'm sure you see, other YouTubers collabing and doing things like that. And again, this kind of goes back to that self-worth over there, where it's not that I'm afraid to do any of those things, it's that I don't feel worthy, which is just insane. When I say it out loud, I realize how dumb it is, but you know how this goes. And Wild University kind of ties into that. So if you don't know what Wild University is, I'll talk more about that another time. But basically, it's a membership, and I've been a member for a while, a long while. And there's all sorts of classes. There's a meetup, like an annual meetup. It's all about Wild University is from Wild for Planners. So, but it's so much more about planners. There's wonderful classes on there, business classes, cooking I mean, it's just everything. It's so fun. But I need to do better about taking the dang classes. So this kind of ties back into skills and community. So that's why I set it up like that. Okay, and now we have family and relationships. So the main focus for me is quality time. So that's both for my marriage, my kids, and then extended family. So for my husband and I, date nights, I realized the other day that we had not been on a date, like out, since my now 3-year-old was 4 months old. So there's that. Now, part of that has a lot to do with his job hours and stuff, but still. And then mystery games. So I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but there's a solving a murder game where you get all the supplies and it's like this whole thing. So I want to do that for us. Extended family, stay in better contact. And then I put in quotes here, you're not bothering them. I have this thing, same thing I do with my friends, where I'm always worried I'm going to bother them. And it's kind of crazy because I'm like, in not bothering them, I'm not talking to them. So it's like, not exactly effective. And then for kids, special days with each child on their own. This is mostly for my girls. My son is 2 months old, so, we get plenty of one-on-one time, usually in the middle of the night. But, and then small trips, just little outings, not like a big to-do, just little things, going to a local park, whatever. And then more projects, crafts we can do together. That's a big one. And in doing that, maybe I can also address the other, crafting need. Okay, bring you back out. Last 4. Okay, we have health and wellness. And for me, it's habits. Mind and body. For body, I put no crash diets. Now, luckily, I have not done that in a couple years, and I want to continue not doing that. Nutrition, not weight loss. Try a massage. I've never had a massage, a legitimate massage, in ever. So, it's definitely something I want to try. And then I want to focus on building strength and endurance. I hate cardio. I will not run unless being chased, and even then, it's like, So then, mind, admit when you need help, weekly/daily journaling, find healthy, stress-reducing activities, and memory keeping. And I think I'm going to share some of that memory keeping stuff with you guys. Because again, it's another way to kind of bring you in and introduce you more to me and my life. The admit when you need help. I have a huge problem with not wanting to appear like I can't get it all done. I don't know where that comes from. I'm sure a lot of you have the same problem. But for me, it impedes on my life. It's so counterintuitive. So that's something I need to work on big time. Okay, spiritual and personal growth. I'm going to be honest, I struggled with this category big time. I think, like a lot of other people, sometimes when I hear spiritual, I automatically associate it with religious, which the two are completely different words and have different meanings. But, so I struggled a bit with this. And then I was thinking, again, with that prompts page, and I saw, let me flip back to it. I saw acts of kindness. And I was like, you know what? That is right up my alley. I love the random thing of being in line at Dunkin' and paying for the person behind me, or just, little things. It doesn't have to be the big things. But one thing I want to get back to, if the world allows, is volunteering again. I used to work at and volunteer at animal shelters and veterinary offices, etc., and I miss it. I miss it so much. And then also volunteering at schools. A lot of schools around me have, voluntary art programs, and art means so much to me. So it would be wonderful to get to share that with some kids that, perhaps their school doesn't have an actual art class. A lot of art and music classes, as I'm sure you're aware, have kind of gone to the wayside, which is just sad, honestly. So, and then support new businesses and local businesses, and then other creators. Making a conscious effort if someone, a fellow creator, or one of you guys, if one of you guys opens an Etsy store, it doesn't have to be budget or planning related. It doesn't have to have anything to do with any of this. But, going and looking at the things and, maybe buying some of it just to kind of show support. It takes a lot of guts to put something you've made out there. So don't think that goes unnoticed. Okay, and then financial. So the big focus, I didn't highlight these. Okay, well, that has to be remedied for my own OCD reasons. All right, so I've got future is the trunk of the tree, if you will, and then spend, save, and invest. Over here by spend, I wrote this down not only for myself, but thinking this might help someone else. Sometimes when we think of a budget, we think of a restriction. And if you're anything like me, no one's going to tell me no. So what I thought about doing was, okay, if we switch our mindset about this and say make a spending plan and not a budget, could that help frame how we set up our budgets and how well we stick to those budgets? So just food for thought. Save, we need to do some home projects, and we need a vacation. I haven't taken a vacation since I was a kid, guys. Like, not a legitimate, I live in Illinois, so I don't count going to Wisconsin Dells a vacation, if we're just going to be honest. That takes a couple hours to get there, and yeah. I mean, a real vacation. No offense. No offense, Wisconsin people. Don't worry. And then invest. So college for the kids, invest in my business, and then invest in retirement. Arguably, retirement could be put in the save, but at the end of the day, it is investments, obviously, but you're investing in yourself at that point. You're giving yourself a leg ahead. And then the next is physical environment. This doesn't have to just be about your home. This could be about your workplace, your office, your home office, whatever. I put home management. I'm not sure if home management means to them what it means to me, but it seemed appropriate. So I separated it out. Well, I can't say that. I separated it out into inside and outside. So for inside, I know this seems a little odd, but this is kind of where one would put pet-related things. Regular dog grooming, with the vid of 19, if you will. Not only was our groomer closed for a while, but it was like everything just got out of whack. And I have a dog, an Australian Shepherd, German Shepherd mix. So she has a double coat, and admittedly, we have let it go far too long between groomings. So that is something we need to get better at. At our old house, I had a little station outside where I could wash her. I have to use a high velocity dryer on her because of that dual coat. And with the way this new house is set up, even though we actually have a bigger yard, there's nowhere for me to really do that safely with her. So maybe one day I'll be able to do that again. But in the meantime, you got to get her butt to the groomers. And here I put establish a realistic cleaning routine. Sorry, I had to take a sip there. I'm going to be honest, cleaning routines to me are the bane of my existence. I put a ton of pressure on myself. I feel bad about it when I don't finish the 97 things I unrealistically set out for myself. And so taking the time to really figure out a good strategy. Paint and decorate, and I put in quotes, make this house a home. For those of you that are new, I was a single mom for most of my oldest daughter's life. And with that came moving a lot. It was always apartments, and it was, moving around often. So decorating didn't really happen. And it always kind of bummed me out. It never felt like home. And I realized in our old house, I kind of carried some of that same energy over without even realizing it. So with this, we have a new space. There's actually storage to store decor items, which that was also part of the problem with the prior house. So that's something I really want to do. And then organize one room of the house per month. Part of this stems from us still being not completely unpacked. We moved, and then just a few weeks later had our son, and then it was Thanksgiving, and then it was Christmas, and so needless to say, the place is a mess. But figuring out some organization without breaking the spending plan. And I believe that's it. Yep, that's it. And on these pages, let me back you out here. On these pages, you could do a vision board. I don't usually do vision boards on paper. I kind of treat my Pinterest like a vision board. And a catch-all for nonsense that I forget to go back and look at. But, so that's those pages. Goal setting quick tips. And then you jump into the month spread, and you can further break down those goals into monthly goals. So for instance, let's see here, for financial, okay, retirement. So one thing I need to look into is good retirement funds and that kind of stuff. So for January, I can say, let's focus on retirement. What do we need to do? What are the best ways to do it? Should I add something to the 401k I have? Should I do a Roth IRA or, whatever all the smart people talk about? That kind of stuff. And then you take that monthly goal and you parse it out into little pieces. Now, you don't have to do this for all of your goals by any means. So I could say, call, I don't even know who my 401k is through. Oh boy, I think it's Fidelity. So call Fidelity, speak with one of the advisors, see if there's more you should be doing, things like that. Fun and recreation. It could be, for this week, I want to go visit that new bookstore that's opening. That's actually one thing I do want to do. Things like that. And then you have your weekly spread. Let me bring it in. I don't know if you can see this. There's gray lines. Well, not gray. Yeah, they're gray. But they're very faint. So it's a vertical column setup. Down here you have kind of more of like a box setup. You have a little heart here, which you can, write out your gratitude for the day if you do that. You've got habit trackers over here. It's a great planner. Is it really expensive? Yeah. Yeah, it is. One way to look at it is you have a goal planner and a planner mixed together. That's the way I'm trying to justify it to myself. Feel free to use it. But yeah, so then at the end of the week, you have a little dot grid page where you can put weekly reflections. So what was a win, what worked, didn't work, lessons learned, and adjustments needed. And I think that's kind of a nice way to kind of both acknowledge the things that went well and then figure out a plan for the things that didn't for the next week. And then that page is right here. So again, it's an option, but I like having the broken down. It makes everything feel less overwhelming to me. Now, again, admittedly, upon opening this, it feels overwhelming. But once you kind of nail down those annual goals, or even if you want to just start by just, say you get this in February, just write out goals for February. Don't even think big picture. But doing that may help you establish some annual goals, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to show you guys all this. I think it's really neat. I'm excited for this journey. This is the most beautiful abstract cover I've ever seen in my life. I can't remember the artist's name off the top of my head, but she's all over the website, so it's just beautiful. So again, you guys will get to follow along with me with this goal journey while I plan and everything else, and I hope you have some goals that you're working towards this year. It doesn't have to be big stuff, guys. It really doesn't. It could just be, hey, remember to get gas before you're on E, because you're an adult now. I'm talking to myself right there. That's for me. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.